Kiri will join us from Lagos. This broadcast is also being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. Do follow us across all social media platforms for regular updates as well. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday depart Abuja for Berlin, Germany to attend the G20 Compact with Africa conference on November 20, 2023, hosted by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. During the conference, President Tinubu will join other heads of state and government of CWA member countries, bilateral partners and heads of international organizations to deliberate on the immediate enhancement of economic and business cooperation with a view to outlining concrete measures to boost investment in areas of energy, trade, infrastructure and new technologies. The G20 CWA conference will be taking place along with the 4th G20 Investment Summit, co-hosted by the German government and German business associations. The visit also affirms President Tinubu's commitment to diplomatic reciprocity, as the invitation to Germany from the German Chancellor is being honored following the visit of the German Chancellor to Abuja and Lagos last month. Nigeria and Germany, being the largest economies in Africa and Europe respectively, recorded an increase in bilateral trade volume from 2 to 3 billion euros between 2021 and 2022. The President will be accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, the Coordinating Minister of Economy and Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Anite, and the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu. A new chapter has been opened for victims of rape and sexual exploitation across the globe as nations around the world rally to give them a voice in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, who is in the country to participate in the first UN World Day Against Rape and Girl-Child Exploitation, joined the President of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, his wife and others at a special Jumat service held at the Presidential Lodge in Freetown. At the heart of the service is the need to address the emotional state of victims, change their psyche, and initiate healing for them. Goodwill messages came with commitment and assurance that survivors would no longer be alone and their pain no longer ignored by the world.
Therefore, grateful to the sister republic of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and all other countries that supported the resolution, as well as local and international partners that have stood with us in lifting the veil of shame and pain and assuring victims that they have a safe space in a free world and that they are not alone.
You cannot continue to be victims. You are not the victims. You are the survivors. And the people who did what they did to you are the cowards, and they are the one who should be ashamed. It is not you that should be ashamed.
When you hurt one, you hurt all of us. When one succeeds, all of us succeed. And today is not just a day of freedom for Sierra Leone. I believe it's a freedom for the world. Mr. President, I want to salute you for standing with the women of the world. It's not just standing for Sierra Leone alone. And I pray that all your colleagues around the world will learn that women are very precious people.
Victims and poems recited as well. Freedom for victims around the world. Earlier, the First Lady spoke with NTA about a mission, about this mission, and here is the excerpt.
Now, joining us via Zoom from Freetown, Sierra Leone, is Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. Your Excellency, it's nice to have you on our news.
Thank you very much.
Now, Nigeria is one of the co-sponsors of the proposal that led to the UN resolution which gave rise to the Day Against Rape and Girl-Child Exploitation. Your Excellency, how important is this for you, seeing that you are putting your face and your voice to this cause?
I think it was quite an emotional day for all of us. And to find a woman who could champion that and be a voice on an issue that has plagued us for a long time. And we have talked, we have canvassed, and we see even the state first ladies in Nigeria, they have days of activism, speaking against sexual violence and domestic violence. And for somebody to go all the way to the United Nations to speak and to get a day, to get the resolution for a day like November 18, being put there in the annals of our history, I think it's quite commendable. And I'm so glad I'm part of it. And I believe that next year we'll be celebrating, and I believe that the entire world will be celebrating. It's a freedom for the girl child. It's a freedom for all Nigerians, all women all over the world, because we have cases from Holland, from different issues, even on men being violated. And I think for us, it's a very, very proud day. We were received in Sierra Leone, it's like home for us. They commended Nigeria, and they believe that Nigeria is their big brother, and that we stood by them in their times of need. And what else can I do than to reciprocate that? And that's why I'm here. It's quite overwhelming. The reception has been quite commendable. Really, it's as if we are at home on the soil of Africa again. And I believe that Africa, this is the time for us. We have to seize the momentum, and that's what we are doing. Is the success of one is the success of all. And then when one cry, I believe all of us should cry. But we believe this is a time of celebration.
Apart from lending your voice to this cause, are we seeing Nigeria signing any commitments at this commemoration?
There's no commitment. We are co-sponsors of the resolution taking. The day is already established. They've done the signing way back, and I think it's the Nigerian mission that stood for us. So when we came on board and I met Our Excellency Dr. Fatima Bayo, Mother Bayo, she was really, really looking forward to meeting me and for me coming over to Sierra Leone to celebrate the day with them. So this would be the first of many, many more to come. So next year we will be celebrating in Nigeria, and I believe that all the state first ladies who have lent their voice to this cause will be very, very excited to actually have a day to celebrate. They've had days of activism, and I think to be granted a day worldwide, is no small feat.
To measure success, are we going to have a situation where there will be an emplacement of peer review mechanisms among countries within the continent?
I don't know yet, because we've just arrived, but I'm here to speak with her. But the African First Ladies Organization is a very, very strong one. And Angola is here represented. And whatever we do, I think we'll be meeting in Addis Ababa, in the beginning of the year. So there's a meeting there, and I think this is something the issues we'll be talking about. So I'm here to learn more, but for what is being done today, it's really a very great celebration for all the women of the world.
We understand that this struggle resonates with your well-known stance that women must have a voice and be empowered in a right and safe environment. Now, how much of this are we seeing on the home front, both at the national and subnational levels?
I never believed in violence, but at the same time, I believe I have the strength, and also being a woman in her 60s, I've seen things, and at the same time, I've always spoken and always supported girl issues, and I don't believe a woman is supposed to be disrespected, and we have to build confidence in all our girls. And when you know who you are, and this is one of the things I've promoted over the years, a woman has to find her purpose, has to find her voice. Once you do that, you don't have to scream doing that. Once you do that, a woman has to work very hard. And I believe for you to be heard, you have to work, if not thrice as much as what a man would give and get commendation. So a woman has to be, if you want to be heard, if you want to shine in your calling, you have to be able to work more and make sure that you speak up and not in a violent manner. Speak up, and then, people will listen.
Now, how best do you think political leaders, the society at large, can bring healing to victims of gender-based violence, girl-child exploitation, and rape in Africa?
I think this has really set the ball rolling for us. And I believe that, now if we can go all the way to Sierra Leone to make this known, they will know that this is more serious than just playing lip service. This is serious. It has come to stay. The woman has gained her freedom, finally. And women should not be afraid to speak up. It is not their fault that, an offense is being committed. You speak up so that other women can heal, and then we can have situation and legislation that can help that. And like I spoke today, I said, the woman is the man's grandmother. They actually came from us. So why would you be violating us? The judiciary to take a more stronger and a more firmer stance. They can't play lip service to it. I know, they said he who is without sin should cast the first stone. We are all guilty in this, but we can heal. We can do better. They said once you know better, you do better. So now we know, and we believe that the future of our children should be secured. They shouldn't be treated like animals or a toy. They should be treated well. They should be respected. And I believe that we women should begin to raise our voice to respect women.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for sharing those perspectives and your thoughts. And we wish you the best of luck in the conference that is ongoing.
Thank you very much.
That was an excerpt of a Zoom interview with the First Lady from Sierra Leone on sexual exploitation and rape of the girl child. And as you know, NTA has always championed the cause, speaking out against rape and rapists. Now, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, has assured communities hosting mining companies of a fair deal in terms of development. The minister gave the assurance at the unveiling of the revised guidelines for the production of community development agreements in the solid mineral sector in Abuja. The guidelines were developed by the Ministry and the African Center for Leadership and Development.
Nigeria, if we sanitize the environment of our mineral sector operation and ensure that the operators get maximum profit while the host communities also derive beneficiation that normally should go to them, and then government, the various levels of government, we have state, we have local, we have federal, and all normal taxes are paid. So at the end of the day, it behoves on all of us to ensure that we play our own part. We as the regulators will ensure enforcement of all these guidelines.
Leadership in Africa. And the second, lack of strategy. And the third, inappropriate development approach. And you agree with me that the whole of Africa, we are blessed with enormous human and material resources. But all of these have not translated to development because of those three issues that we have identified as a center.
This is the network news on NTA. Stay tuned for more reports after some messages. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has dismissed the appeal of the Governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, challenging the judgment of the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which gave victory to Nasir Yusuf Gawuna of the All Progressives Congress. Recall that the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal on September 20, 2023 nullified the election of Abba Kabir Yusuf as governor of the state. Olabode Arewa reports.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of the New Nigeria People's Party approached the Court of Appeal seeking to overturn the judgment of the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal that sacked him from office. In that verdict, the tribunal declared Nasir Yusuf Gawuna as the rightful winner of the March 18, 2023 election on the basis that the governor's name was not in the NNPP register as at the time of the election. This is in line with Section 177, subsection C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, as well as Section 77 of the Electoral Act 2022. The tribunal had also deducted 165,663 votes belonging to the governor for being invalid votes as they were not stamped by INEC. But Governor Abba Yusuf appealed the tribunal's decision, pointing out what he termed as errors in the judgment and praying for his mandate to be restored. Governor Yusuf, through his counsel, formulated 9 issues for determination in the appeal. One of the grounds of the appeal was that Gawuna was not a party in the petition and therefore cannot benefit from the verdict. But the appeal court agreed with the arguments canvassed by Gawuna and his party, the APC, saying that the appellant, Governor Yusuf, failed to adduce credible evidence to prove that he was an NNPP member, as a candidate could only qualify to participate in an election only if he was sponsored by a political party, and Governor Yusuf did not qualify as such. The appellate court thereafter affirmed Gawuna's victory as governor-elect of Kano State, awarding 1 million naira costs against Governor Yusuf in favor of the respondents. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal has affirmed the victory of Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed in the governorship election held in the state in March 2023. The court, in dismissing the appeal filed by Sadiq Abubakar of the APC, held that allegations of overvoting were not supported by credible evidence. Olabodarewa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, following judgment of the appellate court upholding the ruling of the Kano Governorship Tribunal, which sacked the incumbent governor of the state, Abba Kabir Yusuf of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Nasir Yusuf Gawuna of the APC has been declared the duly elected governor. The national chairman of the governing All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduji, says the verdict is evidence that democracy has come to stay in Nigeria. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
From the courtroom to the residence of the national chairman of the governing All Progressives Congress, APC, it was party loyalists spotted in high spirits over what they referred to as a fair judgment on the NNPP appeal against Kano Tribunal verdict that favors APC governorship candidate Nasiru Gawuna. The national chairman and the governor-elect, as affirmed by the appeal court, speak on the outcome.
There's nothing wrong for them to go to Supreme Court. We too, we are ready to meet them in the Supreme Court. And inshallah, will win in the Supreme Court as well.
We are very happy and grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the Court of Appeal to affirm our victory. And inshallah, we are praying very well that we are not going to fail our people.
They appreciate stakeholders and opposition leaders for submitting to all legal processes, which are a strong indication that democracy is thriving in Nigeria. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Still on election victory, the Independent National Electoral Commission has presented certificates of return to Governor Hope Uzodimma and the Deputy Governor-elect Chinyere Ekomaru. INEC National Commissioner in charge of Southeast, Kenneth Kagu, made the presentations in Owerri.
Section 72(1) of the Electoral Act 2022 mandates the Independent National Electoral Commission to issue certificate of return within 14 days to every candidate who has been returned by the returning officer under the aforementioned Act.
Similarly, Bayelsa State Governor-elect Senator Duye Diri and his deputy Senator Lawrence Irujapo received their certificates of return.
This occasion is only made possible because of the successful conduct of the governorship election, which held on the 11th of November 2023.
I'd like to appreciate all the electorates, but not for you standing by your votes. You have actually brought a new phase into the politics of Bayelsa.
In the same vein, the Independent National Electoral Commission has given Usman Ahmed Ododo, Kogi State Governor-elect, and his deputy their certificates of return. INEC Commissioner Professor Sani Muhammad Adam spoke on the need for politicians to refrain from inflaming the polity.
We have delivered to Nigerians one of the freest, the most peaceful, credible, free, and fair, and inclusive certificate of return symbolizes not just victory, but a commitment to serve my people with humility, integrity, and with the fear of God Almighty.
The High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has ordered that the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, be remanded in Kuje Correctional Center pending the determination of his request for bail. The presiding judge, Justice Hamza Muazu, gave the order in Abuja. With this ruling, Emefiele will remain at the Correctional Center until November 22, when the court will decide on his bail application. The lead counsel to Emefiele, Matthew Buka, SAN, moved the application for bail, which defense counsel Rotimi Oyedepo vehemently opposed on behalf of the federal government. After taking arguments for and against the application, Justice Muazu said a bench ruling could not be delivered in view of the plethora of authorities cited by the two parties. And now to ensuring industrial harmony, and as Gombe State Government provides a level playing ground for businesses to thrive, investors operating in the state should meet their responsibilities to their host communities. This is the position of the state government, which was made known during the signing for the first time of a community development agreement between Ashaka Cement and 3 of its host communities. Emmanuel Akila reports.
For over 40 years, Ashaka Cement has had smooth business operations in Funakaya local government area of Gombe State. Gombe State government now brings the company and its host communities to the table to sign the agreements required by law to enable Bagi, Ashaka and Bajoga communities enjoy projects worth 500 million naira in 5 years from Ashaka Cement.
Community development agreement is provided for by the law, the Minerals and Mines Act of 2007, which makes it mandatory for a mining entity to have an agreement with the host community as to what things they are going to do for them, infrastructure, education, anything. That is a must. That is the law.
What we have just witnessed today is a good leadership, as well as transparent and prudent leadership of Governor Muhammadu Inouye.
The governor of the state is making it favorable for investors to come in.
This is heartwarming development to the members of the benefiting communities.
The chairman of the local government, the emir of Funakaye, and the community relation committee have been coming together to quell any problem that arises in the company.
Gombe State is becoming investors' destination after being rated #1 in the ease of doing business in Nigeria by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council in 2021 and 2022. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA.
Meanwhile, goods estimated to be worth hundreds of millions of naira have been stranded for months at the Nigeria-Benin border in Kebbi State. Correspondent Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the long closure of the border has become a major concern for traders and other stakeholders. The report.
First, 2019, the federal government ordered the closure of the country's land borders due to security and other reasons. In December 2020, the previous administration also ordered the reopening of 4 land borders, which include Kambo border in Kebbi State. But the military coup in Niger Republic prompted the sudden closure of the Kambo border again, which seriously affected socio-economic activities of many northwestern states. A visit to Lolo border revealed a long queue of over 5 kilometers of trucks and trailers loaded with goods for months, waiting for its reopening.
We came here on the day that the border was closed. We spent over 100 days here now, where none of us is enjoying the situation. It has been a terrible experience. We are all exhausted. No food, no water, no better place to sleep. We are just stranded. Government, please help us.
One of the stakeholders is Alhaji Aminu Denya. He appealed to the stranded businessmen and women and the drivers to continue to exercise patience.
Feeling urge federal government, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to consider the situation our people they are in.
As at the time of filing in this report, some of the drivers narrated their ordeals in getting food and even drinking water. From Lolo in Kebbi State, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And from Lolo in Kebbi, we'll head to Lagos, where Adiola is standing by with more reports. Adiola.
Thank you, Najatu. Nigeria's quest to accelerate economic growth through foreign direct investment is achievable if the potential in trade fair is well harnessed, especially the prospect of networking. Lynn Leneke reports that experts emphasized the need for friendly business environment to encourage investors.
Fairs, like many other economic gatherings, provide ideal platforms for demonstrating innovation and taking competition head-on, create high market transparency due to the many competitors represented, and reach out to lots of customers through effective communication. To facilitate the exchange of technical and commercial information and expansion of trade transactions in order to enhance the development of the national economy. Apart from being the huge commercial venture, the just concluded 37th Lagos International Trade Fair, adjudged to be the largest business market in ECOWAS sub-region, showcased innovative and technological development.
This thing underlines the importance of relationships and networking among businesses for wealth creation, also for trade partnerships and for productivity growth.
Trade fair also enables industry stakeholders brainstorm on how to market the potential of various sectors of the nation's economy.
Many people will think that we don't manufacture anything, but with this exhibition, it has been shown that Nigeria is manufacturing so many items.
The collaboration, the networking from other countries, of course, that's the whole essence of international trade fair.
It's the kind of advertisement you are making here. People will know the authenticity of the product. The company is right here at the trade fair.
For nation's economy to gain more mileage, experts unanimously agreed that trade fairs and other trade exhibitions should be packaged in line with global best practices, while more attention should be placed on made in Nigeria products. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
Early exposure to treatment from the cradle is vital for people living with Down syndrome to reach their full potential and make meaningful contributions to the society. Experts say social inclusion and eradication of all forms of discrimination will bring out innate talent in this special group of people. Joel Bobola will tell us more in this report.
Down syndrome, according to medical experts, is a disorder that occurs due to chromosome imbalance, which usually affects the intellectual development of affected persons.
The Down syndrome is obviously a congenital genetic abnormality, and it is not what anybody did wrong. It's just unfortunate, one of the chromosomal abnormality.
Apart from this, there are other health challenges that affect their overall development.
Which we as cardiology, cardiothoracic surgeon, we take care of them, and we are able to fix those disease or defect they have, and therefore they can really live in a very normal life.
In spite of this setback, people living with Down syndrome can realize their full potential under the right atmosphere. Many parents who have children with the health disorder are oblivious of how to cater for them. However, these parents with children with special needs have been able to nurture their children to achieve their goals.
The first thing one has to do, like we've always said, is acceptance. Acceptance, then love, and then the desire to educate and then inspire. Find out what their talents are and encourage them in that regard.
For these children living with Down syndrome, their condition has not dampened their hope.
I said so, I make makeup artists.
The consensus of stakeholders is that more public enlightenment on the issue will change the unpleasant narrative of societal stigmatization and discrimination of people living with Down syndrome. In Lagos, Joel Pukbola, NTA News.
And that does it from Lagos. The network news will continue after this time out. Please stay with us.
Thanks for staying tuned. We're talking agricultural matters now. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on food production through mechanization, food security is guaranteed for Nigerians. This was during an interactive session with the Senate Committee on Agricultural Production. National Assembly correspondent Isa Muhammad reports.
Worried by the dwindling economy and the fear of shortage of food production in the country despite efforts by previous governments to improve on it, the Senate Committee on Agriculture met with the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security as well as other agencies to find a way forward. The minister intimated the committee on some projections, policies and programs of the ministry in collaboration with relevant ministries on ways to reach out to farmers in rural areas on mechanized agriculture.
We have already started discussing on how to make that exchange very, very attractive, not only to young people, to everybody who has fair change. You can invest whatever amount of money and you can make money. It's in the collective interest of this country that we do what is right.
The committee chairman Sani Mustafa notified the MDAs on the willingness of the National Assembly to revamp agriculture through quality laws and supporting workable initiatives. Other areas also discussed during the interactive section include managing silos, post-harvest laws, new ideas, technologies and innovations, encouraging young farmers and cooperative societies to access soft loans. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
Meanwhile, St. Teresa's College, Nsukka, fondly called STC, has emerged winner of the 2023 Niles National Secondary Schools Quiz Competition on Legislature and Democracy, which had a grand finale at the National Assembly. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that the leadership of the 10th Assembly pledged to sustain the competition for developing young talent following their performance.
It was quite a keenly contest among participating schools from 6 geopolitical zones of the country at the grand finale. The competition, which is the 8th, was designed to inculcate on the students the requisite knowledge of legislative process and procedure, as well as democratic governance generally.
Begin to imbibe the right virtues, listen to your teachers, listen to your parents, and you will never go wrong. There's a time you will also be a teacher, whether you are teaching in the classroom or at home.
All that the leadership of the 10th National Assembly, and in particular the House of Representatives, will ensure that these laudable initiatives of the brainchild of Neil is sustained. As you may observe, both private and public schools are represented in this quiz competition. This is a reflection of the commitment of the 10th National Assembly to prioritize education for all in line with the 8-point agenda
of Mr. President.
6 schools slug it out at the grand finale, having made it from their respective zones.
Why do some states have more members than others in the House of Representatives? A, population. C, choice of the people.
Population.
Did you say A?
Yeah.
Population.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like a plausible answer, to be honest. Is that because you're sure or you're just guessing?
Pretty sure.
You're absolutely sure. And I like your confidence because you are correct. Congratulations, that is the correct answer.
St. Teresa from Nsukka clinched the first position, followed by Greater Tomorrow Ondo and School for the Gifted Gwagwalada FCT, who went home with second and third positions in that order. The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies has pledged to sponsor the winning team for their final examinations and tertiary level education. From the National Assembly, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The Minister of the Niger Delta Development Commission, the Minister of the Niger Delta, Engineer Abubakar Momo, has urged the new board of the Niger Delta Development Commission to achieve the set goals of the commission through good performance. The minister, while inaugurating the 18-member NDDC board in Abuja, also stressed the need to change the narrative around the commission. Abubakar Momo also explained the performance measuring template of the current administration to members and the implications.
You therefore must be committed on how that zone can be transformed. All those negative statements around the commission, let us, as much as possible this time, to say, well, under the presidency of Mr. President, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and my leadership in the ministries, and yourself operating at that level, that all those negative sentiments about NDDC are changed. I would therefore appeal to the new management and also advise that as you resume your work, try as much as possible to identify those local contractors who have very small amount, not more than 30 million, so that we begin to offset them and pay them their indebtedness.
Appreciating the minister, chairman of the NDDC board, Chiedu Ibi, promised that the board would execute legacy projects based on detailed needs assessment.
With opinion leaders, community leaders, professionals and development partners, also in the private sector, to leverage constructive and attainable outputs.
The board has also been tasked to complete abandoned projects across the 9 states which make up the commission. This is the network news on NTA. Stay tuned for more after this time out. A political activist known for nationalistic struggles, whose philosophy was represented in the motto of his newspaper, West African Pilot, show the light and the people will follow the way, which all resonated at the 4th Zik annual lecture held at the Shehu Musa Eradua Center, Abuja. Olajide Bello captured the moments.
Are safe and secure in their persons and property.
Echoes of wisdom and peace from Nnamdi Benjamin Azikiwe, usually referred to as Zik, a Nigerian statesman and political leader who served as the Governor General of Nigeria and the first president of Nigeria during the First Republic, which existed from 1963 to 1966. That is why it was a convergence of the traditional institutions, political bigwigs, and Nigerians from different political, ethnic, and religious backgrounds to honor the man considered a driving force behind the nation's independence and the father of Nigerian nationalism. Highlighting the lessons to be learned from the legacies of the late icon, dignitaries, one after the other, extolled his sterling qualities in shaping Nigeria's historical journey, describing Zik as a peace ambassador.
I expressed the feeling, not just myself, but the entire family, because it gives us that willpower to continue believing in Nigeria. But with something like this, we know that Zik is still alive.
He is one of the best people we can celebrate in this country, so that our children and grandchildren will know that there were people who have contributed, who have sacrificed their time and their energy for the sake of Nigeria.
We Nigerians from all walks of life, from different states, should come together and unite as one. And that's what our late leader, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, stands for.
African nationalism is a factor in the modern world. Its conceptualization and understanding is possible when one takes a critical study of the forces that help to shape and mold it into a viable force of self-determination. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The death has occurred of the immediate past Nigerian ambassador to Kenya, Ambassador Yusuf Yunusa. The late diplomat died Friday, November 17, 2023 at the Yobe University Teaching Hospital after a brief illness. He was aged 73. The funeral prayer was held at his Nguru home in Yobe State. Late Ambassador Yusuf Yunusa is survived by wives, children, grandchildren and brothers, among them Engineer Mustafa Yunusa Mehaja, former Director General of NEMA. Sports update is next.
Top Nigerian long-distance runners are set to slug it out for the prizes at stake in the 2023 edition of Warri Efuru Peace Marathon. Billed for November 25th, Emmanuel Gyan, the 2022 champion, will face stiff challenge from Ismail Sajo and Stephen Dalop, while in the women's event, veteran runner Deborah Palm will have her hands full contending with Joy Abiye, Elizabeth Nuhu and Patience Dalop. In football, analysts are still reacting to the 1-1 draw scoreline between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and their counterparts from Lesotho, as the Eagles began their 2026 World Cup qualifiers on a shaky note.
It's just a disgrace that we had to manage to get a draw against Lesotho.
Learning from this game, Nigeria will still come out better and brighter.
Meanwhile, Taiwo Awoniyi is out of the Super Eagles camp due to injury, while the team is set to consolidate its position on the qualifiers table in Group C as it meets Zimbabwe on Sunday. Still on football, preparations are in top gear for the 10th Nigeria Pitch Awards 2024. The organizers in Lagos said the award, which is supported by the Nigerian Football Federation, will once again celebrate and honor excellence in the game of football.
The Nigerian Pitch Awards as a platform simply want to first discuss the way forward to attract everyone.
In surfing, the Nigerian Surfing Federation galvanizes efforts to popularize the sport amongst Nigerian athletes and spread their tentacles to other parts of the country. This is part of the motive behind the working visit of Umar Seyi, the President, African Surfing Confederation.
Sports Update concludes the network news on NTA. Thanks for staying with us.